Mr. Speaker, the unfortunate altercation which occurred at the Ablikuma North by-election made for very difficult viewing. It is something that nobody can defend. But, Mr. Speaker, I recall that in the early 2000s, I first set foot in this house to look for then minority leader, Honorable Abambagu, who now is the Speaker of this House. Mr. Speaker, he gave me a copy of Jeffrey Bing's seminal work, Reap the Whirlwind. Little did I know that that title was actually a famous biblical verse, which says that you have sowed the wind and you shall reap the whirlwind. Mr. Speaker, let me place it on record. Let me place it on record. I was a student at KNUST. Yes. I was a student at KNUST. I was a TAIN executive. But Mr. Speaker,
you are not supposed to answer anybody.
Well, it was just by the way.
Listen to each other in silence.
A critical test must be had on anything that members of the new patriotic party say in respect of this particular incident. And it is a test of sincerity. Mr. Speaker, if we carry out a cursory examination of the positions taken by our friends sitting on the other side on the many acts of impunity and raw terrorism which occurred between 2017 and 2024, very few or none of them would have been heard condemning those incidents. Mr. Speaker, no sooner had they come into power than they form groups with blood-curdling names such as Invisible Forces, Delta Forces, and what have you. Mr. Speaker, we witnessed a situation where in 2019, during the Ayawaso West Ogun by-election, state-sponsored tax.
Yes, I recognize honorable minority.
Speaker, my colleague, I tried to listen to him carefully. Speaker, I'm relying on Order 93.5. I said 93.5. And then, Speaker, further relying on Order 123.2. Speaker, my colleague used expressions such as words, terrorism. He used the word terrorism. And Speaker, 93.5 is not supposed to provoke debate. Speaker, he could proceed with his submission, but I implore you to impress upon him to withdraw the word terrorism. Because it is totally unparliamentary, and this house should not be entertaining such unparliamentary words. I invite you to let him withdraw that word used. It's totally unparliamentary and it's offensive to our rules.
Yes, Honourable Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I think that as a general practice, I have avoided trying to intimidate first-timers anytime they are speaking. I try very hard, even when they make mistakes and we have to point it out, I find a way of doing that. And I don't want us to encourage a practice of intimidating first-timers. The rules are clear, not to provoke debate. The mention of a word, terrorism, how does that provoke debate? Mr. Speaker, the issue of terrorism in electoral campaigning engaged this House to a point where we had to enact a legislation. We enacted a legislation on the matter. So when he's given a historical account, and simply refers to the word terrorism, well, how does that provoke debate? It doesn't provoke debate. So I urge you, Mr. Speaker, let the contributions continue.
Honourable member, please continue.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there is no doubt that what the thugs associated with the MPP did in Ayawaso West Wagon and in places like the Kumasi courts, where they barged in and freed their police standing trial, amounted to terrorism. Mr. Speaker, terrorism is simply the use of violence to achieve political ends. Mr. Speaker, what is most worrying is that anytime those thugs got into trouble, it was officials of the New Patriotic Party who went to their aid. Shut up. Mr. Speaker, at the time, nobody on their side read a statement here that we should condemn those actions. Mr. Speaker, whereas I sympathize with what Honorable Hawakunsi went through, and there's no way I will condone that kind of conduct. She herself has been historically involved in acts that pass for violence during elections. Mr. Speaker, she admitted publicly to firing guns at polling stations during the 2020 limited registration exercise. Mr. Speaker, we know that there are members of the NDC who today have been maimed. Some have actually lost their lives out of violence that she is believed to have instigated. Mr. Speaker, when you do these things, you call violence upon yourself. So, Mr. Speaker, I agree in principle that firm action has to be taken to stamp out this specter of violence that has characterized almost every by-election in our country. But let not those who in the recent past were sponsoring these acts of terrorism against opponents suddenly pretend that they are against it. They are not, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in all the 8 years that they remained in power, what concrete action did they take in the many acts of violence that took place? Mr. Speaker, there is a Commission of Inquiries report which identifies individuals who are no members of their party and says they should be sanctioned for the wrongs that they did. Mr. Speaker, the Milshot Committee identified specific individuals for prosecution. No sooner had that report come out than their government issued a white paper insisting that those gentlemen engaged in those acts of terrorism because they were provoked. Mr. Speaker, a party that endorsed violence during elections cannot come today and call for investigations into acts of violence. It is those of us who condemned it in the past and are condemning it today who have the right to make such a call. So, Mr. Speaker, even in the wake of the events at Ablekumanov, their officials are on record to have vowed that there will be violence at Akwetia. Even as they call for action to be taken, they are threatening violence. Indeed, we all recall that it was in 2012 that then candidate Akufo-Addo openly praised the use of violence as a political tool when he said, public radio and called on accounts to attack gas. Mr. Speaker, when he was prosecuted and released by a court, they carried him shoulder high and poured powder on him to celebrate those comments. People with this kind of record cannot possibly purport today to be opposed to terrorism and acts of violence. So, Mr. Speaker, let us have a discussion about sanitizing our politics. But let us eschew insincerity and duplicity in the discourse. Mr. Speaker, let us take firm action against those who threaten violence at elections. But let us not accept hypocrisy. Let us not accept the politics of convenience. That today it is
Honorable member, your time is up.
Hell must break loose. Mr. Speaker, I am for strengthening the laws against electoral violence. Let the law take its full course.
Honorable,
no matter who
your time is up.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.